Hi guys, I'm Laura Capalabra and I have a business called No More Ifs or Buts, and I work with people and businesses to help them achieve their goals, and sometimes goals they haven't even dared to set yet. So I'm a consultant and a career coach, and I work with businesses to identify what it is they can be doing better as an organisation to achieve more sustainable growth. And I also work with businesses to put together company career benefits of career coaching to help people identify what it is that they can be doing better to reduce stress, increase productivity and increase motivation, and generally improve the lives of employees. And I have a unique don't just be methodology that both of these use. So every month we take a different subject and we explore how we can develop our skill set to build on our strengths and chances of succeeding in our goals, whether you work for yourself, for someone else, or don't work but just want to be the best person you can be. And this month it's all about harnessing your entrepreneurial spirit. So there are so many mixed views on the subject of being entrepreneurial. Some people believe you're born with it, some people believe that you aren't born with it, you learn the skills, and some people don't even believe in the word at all and believe that actually it's all down to risk-taking. I believe that it's a mindset and it's not just a skill, which means that I believe we can all harness it, and we just need to push ourselves to think in a potentially different way to normal. So we're also going to touch on the concept that tapping into this spirit is only for those interested in starting their own business, and we're going to look at what could happen to those that work for others but consider themselves entrepreneurs. So I believe that if you let yourself think in a new way, you'll experience new things. So here are 5 things for you to think of each day that will enable you to harness some of the entrepreneurial spirit that everyone is talking about. And we'll start with a couple of the easy ones. So seeking solutions. Think of the things that frustrate you in normal day-to-day life. These problems can dampen your attitude, your spirit, and can increase your stress levels. Well, how about we stop whinging and we find a solution? It's not about coming up with the next thing, best thing since sliced bread. And I believe one of the easiest things that people can get involved in is improving processes. So it's about changing that spreadsheet so it makes it a bit more sense to others. And it's about coming up with a new day out that your family will all enjoy so it doesn't exclude anyone. Yes, if you can invent the newest baby tipping cup or the wireless intuitive thermostat in your house, then it's great. But being entrepreneurial is more than coming up with a new idea. It's about coming up with solutions to someone's problems. The next thing that I want to think about is being optimistic and being open to optimism. So where there's a will, there's a way, and it's a phrase that you often hear people say. If you allow yourself to say this a little more, you'll find yourself being more solutions focused. So a trait of entrepreneurial spirit is someone not wanting to accept the first answer is the right answer. When you hear the founders of successful businesses talk, they'll always tell you that there are low points and points they wanted to give up in their journey, but that their pure bloody mindedness that they could do it was what continued to drive them. And one of the most important things of entrepreneurial spirit is believing that you can achieve, that you yourself are good enough and are confident enough to actually think and act differently. So be optimistic. And give people the opportunity to tell them that your ideas. If you want to support people having a more entrepreneurial mindset, you need to let them share ideas and need to expect failure. Google Innovation Hub is a perfect example of that, where they encourage people to come up with ideas and be entrepreneurial, and they don't berate them for things that fail. So I'm not talking about being fearless and letting yourself or your business spend millions of pounds just because, but don't expect everything to work and get people to genuinely believe that is okay. Don't be afraid of failure. The world around us is constantly changing, so not moving is the biggest risk of all. Take risks to stay ahead, so be calculated. And find your passion. So finding your element or passion to you and I is really important. There's a great book by Ken Robinson which tells us that if you find this, you can in essence achieve anything. Passion results in energy and drive. So if you can find your passion, you can increase your drive. And this is a great word to have in mind if you work for someone else. If you have passion for what you do, it doesn't matter if you work in a business you don't own, your passion will open more doors and will give you new experiences you never thought possible. And the problem is that so many people don't know what they're in fact passionate about. So task yourself with trying something new every month. You might unearth a passion you never knew existed. So be passionate. And the final one is about being independently together. So work with others, learn from others, and be inspired by others. And most importantly, want to help other people, but be able to make decisions yourself. So you don't have to consider yourself a leader to be an entrepreneur, but you do need to have the conviction to be able to put your money where your mouth is and say you're going to do something. You can't sit on the fence. But what is important is to not be single-minded and only believe your answer is the right approach. So actually collaborate with others. Ask them what their issues in the situation are, and always remember that other people are there to help you, but also you've got to help them as well. So be independent, but also be collaborative. So what it all comes down to is being more, learning more, thinking more, and most importantly, doing more, and don't just be. So there you go, 5 things to keep in mind every day to shift your mindset to make you a little bit more entrepreneurial. And it can be developed if you have the right approach to your day-to-day life. Now, I am very pleased to introduce Leanne from Not on the High Street, who is Head of Home and Garden. Not on the High Street are an online marketplace who have over 5,000 businesses that they're supporting, helping the businesses achieve their goals of reaching a wider audience. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Leanne's got over 15 years experience in the marketing and e-commerce sector, so she's got a great position in terms of authority of knowing what it is that actually makes entrepreneurs tick. So first of all, I'd like to know, what does entrepreneurial spirit mean to you?
So to me, it's more of an approach or a mindset, and I think it's very much a way of behaving or thinking, and it's definitely the proactive approach. So it's looking for change and opportunities and really actively seeking those out rather than waiting to firefight, or as you rightly said, looking and taking the first answer as the right answer. So I think it's very much being curious, and natural curiosity definitely helps with entrepreneurialism, and it definitely inspires passion and innovation around what you're doing.
And do you think it's important? Is it just a buzzword?
I think it's really important. I think it really encourages teams to think differently and actually challenge the status quo and not just accept things for the way they are. And I think the most exciting times at work are when you're thinking in an entrepreneurial way and you're actually looking for opportunities to continue to iterate and evolve the way that you're working and really look for continuous improvement. And I think that's when the passion comes through. And I think, as I said, curiosity is very contagious, and I think a lot of people really like to work in that way, and it's definitely a new way of thinking, but it's a really exciting way.
And do you think businesses can actually encourage it in their culture? Do you think it's something they can encourage their teams to be more?
Absolutely, and I think it's very much about leading by example. So I think encouraging the teams, encouraging the people around you to really think differently, as I keep saying, really challenge the status quo, not just accept that the first answer is the right answer. Probably the most demotivating thing can be that you do things because you've always done it or because that's the way it's done. So really look for opportunities, and I think one of the more important things is about how you actually follow through and you really execute against the ideas that you have. So don't just be a dreamer, really make sure that you deliver, and I think that will inspire the people around you.
That sounds great. And can you think of any kind of standout examples that you could tell us about?
Yeah, so working at notthehighstreet.com is probably the best place because we are inspired all day long by examples of entrepreneurialism. We've got 5,000 small creative businesses that sell with us. I'd say for the most part they're all budding entrepreneurs. We really do have the most fantastic community who continually evolve, they iterate, they're always looking at production techniques, new products, and really sort of keeping ahead of the market. I think looking wider than Not on the High Street, I think, a particular story that I find really inspiring is a quite well-known household smoothie name. 3 guys got together, they had a really strong idea. I think they had a gut feel, but also backed up by some market research that they held at a festival. And actually kind of a stoical optimism really got them through, so they're now innocent, the household name, and I think that's a really good example of an early pioneer of entrepreneurialism.
Do you think they were born with it? Do you think actually it's something that can be learned, or do you think you kind of have to have it in your bones?
I think people are born with it, but I also think you can learn it. So for me, having spent years working in marketing agencies, which are naturally very creative places, but actually walking into notthehighstreet.com 5 years ago, I was very much met by a wave of creativity and inspiring and a real why not attitude, which is quite a different take on things. It's really inspiring to be around, so I think you can definitely learn it. I think it's difficult to break out of your comfort zone, but once you start to do it, you don't look back.
Excellent. And how do you kind of hone and harness it in yourself and in your team members here?
So I think there's definitely times when there are ways of working or processes or businesses that perhaps do not need to be improved or aren't necessarily a place to be improved, but I think there's absolutely ways and means, and I think it's very much about sizing up the opportunity, looking for a way to get the biggest wins, and really encouraging the teams to harness those feelings of curiosity and passion and optimism in the right places. And I think, as I said before, definitely executing against them and having some successes will really help. I think that really helps to harness the passion that can sometimes take over.
Yeah, and a question I always want to know is, do you think Not on the High Street has kind of actually given a place for entrepreneurs, or has actually created a whole new kind of world of entrepreneurs?
So I would say both. I think we've absolutely provided a platform, technically, but also with the customer base for a whole wave of entrepreneurs who had a great idea but just couldn't necessarily find the market or couldn't find a way to reach our customers. But I think also what we've done is really inspire the next generation. So, we have a whole host of initiatives in place where we work with the next generation of partners, and I think we're very much trying to get the message out there that you don't have to follow the traditional career path. And I think for most of our partners, that's what's actually the most interesting thing about what we do, because they really can take a passion and a business, and they now have a way of making that a lifetime ambition.
And getting it, I suppose, to a bigger audience.
Exactly.
And how do you help them do that? So you say you have kind of initiatives that you run with them?
Yeah, so we have entire teams dedicated to working with our small business community. So we have an account management team who work really intensively in terms of product development, supporting with scalability. We have category product experts for almost every category you can think of. We also have a community team who are dedicated to working with our community of small businesses, looking at kind of education, webinars, workshops, and additionally our community of partners themselves. So the 5,000 small businesses is an incredible network, and we very much encourage that sharing spirit and community spirit that comes through.
Well, I think it's very inspiring, and pretty much most of my Christmas presents every year come from on the high street, so I think it's a great market. So thank you very much, Leanne. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I hope that was interesting, everyone. We, as I said, we're focusing on harnessing entrepreneurial spirit this month. Next month we'll be looking at a different topic, so keep looking at the website nomoreifsorbuts.com to find out more information about our next webinar. And if you'd like any more information on how you can harness your own entrepreneurial spirit, then contact me at laura@nomoreifsorbuts.co.uk. As I said, I offer career coaching, but also work with small businesses to help improve their growth and look at opportunities to extend beyond their current network. Thank you all, and see you again next month. Bye.